Did you know that the CDC stated in 2011 that 33% of women had their birth cesarean section? 33% is a large number. That's a third of the women in America. Hi, I'm here today to talk to you about midwifery and the fact that it can lower the rate of cesarean section births. There are three main points I'd like to talk to you about. First is that prenatal care is seriously lacking in the United States, and we need to catch up with the rest of the world. My second point is that these changes will be easy to make, and it's just informing people of their rights. My third point is that you do not have to have a home birth if you have a midwife. You can have a midwife and give birth in a hospital. So let's talk about each one of these points in greater detail. First point is that prenatal care is lacking in the United States, and we need to catch up with the rest of the world. Supposedly we have some of the best health care in the world, yet we also have a very high infant mortality rate. I think this has a lot to do with the fact that women giving birth is on a time schedule. You're told to that you can have this certain amount of time to have your child, and if you don't fit into this bracket, and then we're going to intervene, and it's not okay. And in the documentary titled "The Business of Being Born," there's a statistic that states that midwives attend over 70% of the births in Europe and Japan. In the United States, they attend less than 8%. That is a huge difference. And I think that Americans and American women in particular need to look at this and look at these numbers and think about what we can do to change that. And that leads me into my second point, which is that these changes are not hard to make. We, as women in this country, have a lot more rights than the rest of the world. In an article in Midwifery today, it states that it is the moan, the cry, and the bellow of the world's women that will change birth. Women need to stand up for themselves and their rights to be able to give birth in any way that they choose. And this leads me into my third point, which is that you can have a midwife and you can also give birth in a hospital. Both of my children were born by a midwife in a hospital in Olympia, and it was the most amazing experience. I would not change it for the world. Both times I had some serious complications, but they were there to stand up for me in my vulnerable moment. And it was a very real possibility that both times I could have ended up with a cesarean section had they not been there and I had had an obstetrician instead. When you visit the website for the midwives that attended my birth, it's Woman Care. They state in their mission that you have the right to the best possible care with providers who will listen to your needs and support your health choices regardless of your social, economic, spiritual, or racial reality. And that says so much about them. I just love those girls, and they gave me the most amazing birth experience. So today I have talked to you about midwives and the fact that they can help lower cesarean section birth rates. My 3 points that I talked to you about today were: first, that prenatal care in the United States is seriously lacking and we need to catch up with the rest of the world. Second was that these changes, the changes to catch up with the world, they are not hard to make. And third, my point was that you can have a midwife attend your birth and still give birth in a hospital. So I hope that I have given you enough information today to consider having a midwife when you give birth, and not to push it off to the side because you think the word midwife and you automatically assume that you're going to be sitting at home, with some hippie that smells like patchouli, and no one's going to be able to help you if anything goes wrong. But that is just not the way it is. And I hope that you will consider a midwife if you ever are having a child. Thank you for your time.